This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
Every year since 2007, the launch of a new iPhone is announced, and this year will be no exception with the new iPhone 14 series, which will have new features and a new design, as well as a new price. We go back to 2007. Steve Jobs presents a new iPhone, which will revolutionize the phone industry completely. Jobs announced that the price of this phone will be $4,099 in this base version of 4 GB of internal memory. Will have a touch screen of 3.5 inches, which may sound small today, but at the time it was really big. This phone sold about 6 million units in the first year of release, and was a total success for the Apple company. iPhone 3G. This was the second model of the company, launched for sale in July 2008, a year and a month after its predecessor. The iPhone 3G kept the price in its base model of $499, but doubled its storage, going from 4 GB to 8 GB. Kept the 3.5-inch screen that gave so much success to the first iPhone, and had as major advance the inclusion of 3G technology, which will totally change how we access the internet, being 10 times faster than the 2G of the first iPhone. iPhone 3GS. The third iPhone launched by Apple did not change much its name, but it did change its price, increasing to $599. However, it brought a great improvement in its RAM memory and processor. Launched in 2019, this device kept the 8 GB of storage in its lower price version, kept the 3.5-inch screen with a design identical to its predecessor, which also traced its great sales, achieving more than 1 million units sold in its first weekend. iPhone 4. The fourth model of the company again increased its price in the base model, reaching $649. Although Apple handled this by bringing the biggest design change ever experienced by Apple so far, which will even inspire the design of the iPhone 13. And we have to say, this iPhone is very beautiful, and its features did not disappoint either, double the performance of the previous generation, with the same 8 GB storage and the same screen size. iPhone 4S. Apple launched its new iPhone 4S on a different date than usual, in October 2011, a year and 4 months after the iPhone 4. This new iPhone kept the price of $649, kept the 8 GB as its base storage and the 3.5 inches screen. Its biggest improvement was the inclusion of the first dual-core processor in an iPhone, which substantially improved performance, plus a great improvement in the camera, which will go from 5 megapixels to 8 megapixels. This iPhone managed to have a success far superior to the other phones, achieving more than 30 million units sold. iPhone 5. The sixth model of the iPhone launched in 2012 will bring major improvements, increasing its screen to 4 inches, doubling its base storage to 16 GB, all while maintaining the same price of $649. In addition, a much faster, lighter, and narrower device was achieved, with a body made entirely of aluminum. Also, let's not forget that this was the first iPhone with 4G, which will drastically increase the connection speed and bring the first nano SIM to the iPhone. iPhone 5C. For the year 2013, iPhone will bring us this new iPhone, cheaper than the previous one, sacrificing aluminum for plastic. Priced at $549, this iPhone brought a variety of colors never seen before in Apple phones. In addition, Apple offered again the 8 GB capacity and a slight increase in battery capacity, keeping the phone almost identical to the iPhone 5S in all other aspects. iPhone 5S. Along with the presentation of the iPhone 5C, Apple introduced us to this new iPhone, which will bring for the first time the Touch ID, a 64-bit processor with higher performance, a base storage of 16 GB and the same price of its predecessor, $649. It kept the 4 inches screen and brought us new colors like silver and gold. iPhone 6. By 2014, Apple would adapt to the competition and brought us a big increase in size in its new iPhone, which will feature a 4.7 inches screen with a higher screen-to-body ratio, a new more powerful processor, a higher capacity battery, and all this in a less wide frame. Apple will keep the 16GB base storage and the same price of $649, along with the same colors as the iPhone 5S. iPhone 6 Plus. Apple presents an even larger version of the iPhone 6, which will reach 5.5 inches on its Full HD quality screen, with a higher definition than any other iPhone. It will also be the most expensive iPhone that will have been released so far, with a base price of $749 and a much larger battery than its predecessors. In the other fields, it remained very similar to the iPhone 6, retaining the 16GB as its base storage, the same cameras and the same processor. iPhone 6s. For the year 2015, the iPhone 6s is presented, retaining a screen almost identical to that of its predecessor, the iPhone 6. However, the hardware changed completely, as Apple brings us a major upgrade in performance with a new RAM twice the capacity, a more powerful processor and a higher resolution cameras. In addition, this is the first iPhone that brings 4K video recording, also giving a huge leap in the front camera, which went from 1.2 megapixels to 5 megapixels. And let's not forget the inclusion of this very pink color. iPhone 6s Plus. Along with the launch of the iPhone 6s, will be present this larger version of the Apple device, which will share most of its features with its younger brother, only slightly improving the speed of its processor, plus the inclusion of optical stabilizer for videos, all this for an increase of $100 in its base price, costing $749, the same as the iPhone 6 Plus. iPhone 6 SE. In 2016, Apple will present this iconic device of reduced size, which will take us to the past with a design very similar to that of the iPhone 5S, giving us the possibility of using the same cases for both phones. However, the hardware of the two will not have much in common, as the new iPhone SE will share the powerful hardware of the iPhone 6s Plus, with a reduced price of only $399 in its base version of 16GB, a real bargain for its time. iPhone 7. Later the same year, Apple introduced the iPhone 7, a phone that brought a lot of improvements, featuring the first quad-core processor operated in an iPhone, IP67 certification, being the first iPhone with water protection, and finally increasing its base storage to 32GB, with the same price of $649 that had been offered since the past generations. In addition, this phone experienced the inclusion of a large number of colors, ranging from pink to the famous red, in support of the fight against HIV, very well done by the Cupertino company. iPhone 7 Plus. Along with the presentation of the iPhone 7 was announced this device, which returned to the 5.5 inches of the iPhone 6 Plus, the same Full HD resolution and a slightly better hardware than the iPhone 7, as this new iPhone had 3GB of RAM memory, surpassing the 2GB of the iPhone 7. We also have the first iPhone with two cameras, as this will bring us a secondary telephoto sensor, which will allow us to perform an optical zoom-off X2. And this will not be the only changes, as this new iPhone will once again increase the price to $769 in its base version of 32GB, being the most expensive iPhone so far. And since this video will be very long, since from the iPhone 10 Apple was dedicated to release about 10 iPhones every year, I decided to leave the rest of the Apple devices for a second part. So please like this video since I dedicated a great effort, and also subscribe to not miss the second part that will be released very soon. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye!